CNEWA-Pontifical Mission Jerusalem Field Office is located at Newgate in the Old City of Jerusalem. The team consists of 9 employees, 8 of them in Jerusalem and 1 in Gaza. CNEWA-PNP works for, through, and with the local churches, allocating funds for programs and projects that support the foundation of the church, institutions, and community leaders in Palestine and Israel. The Christian community constitutes less than 2% of the entire population. Yet, local Christian institutions in Palestine and Israel, some established well over 100 years ago, represent 45% of the NGO sector. This includes schools, hospitals, social services, charitable societies, and homes for the elderly. The institutions are operated under the careful guidance of the sisters and brothers of Christian lay men and women. They provide valuable services with Christian values at heart to the greater population, Muslims and Jews, without distinction. They are essentially the agents of evangelization. CNEWA-PNP recognizes the immediate threat to the indigenous Christian community in the Middle East, particularly in the Holy Land, the birthplace of Christianity. The occupation, settlement construction in East Jerusalem and the West Bank, home demolitions and settler violence, high unemployment, and poverty rates are just some of the issues that increase the likelihood of Christian immigration from the Holy Land. CNEWA-PNP is committed towards supporting the network of church-affiliated institutions in Palestine and Israel to develop and strengthen services and programs. In 2019, donor contributions and grants amounted to US $2.35 million, supporting 110 projects in Palestine and Israel. 87% were implemented in Palestine, including East Jerusalem, and 13% of the projects were implemented in Israel. Of the 44% of the projects that were implemented in the West Bank, most were implemented in Bethlehem, where a majority of the Christian community is concentrated. Of the 20% of the projects that were implemented in Gaza, there are 1,100 Christians living amongst a population of 2 million people. 15% of the projects were implemented in East Jerusalem, an area where some 10,000 Christians live. Nearly half of them reside in the Old City of Jerusalem. The child care program consists of 2 elements: rehabilitation of kindergartens, nurseries, and schools, which essentially improves the learning and play environment for school-aged children.
اللي نحن قد ما عبرنا عن شكرنا ما بنقدر نوفي، يعني فعلا هذا من 21 سنة ما كان في مسمار بالحيط، بس عن جد عم بيصير معجزة أو هي نعمة من ربنا فعلا.
Families entrust their children to our schools. It is our duty to take care of them, to take each child by the hand and to open their minds and hearts, helping them in their growth and education even in the face of difficulties.
It also supports a wide variety of extracurricular programs and activities devised by local partner institutions, which are basically free to the children who have limited to no access to any child-friendly activities in their neighborhoods or schools.
We selected 8 partner institutions out of 20 to implement these programs with 3 main objectives. One was to encourage the children to read so that they broaden their horizons, improve their language skills. The second was to help the children in a suppressive society to find the right channels and tools to channel their voice, to use their critical thinking abilities, creative thinking, build their character. The third objective was to break the ice between the different segments of the society, so boys and girls to interact together, and then Muslims and Christians to interact together in a normal setting where children will be involved in storytelling or reading activity. They would come to know each other, see in the other the human being behind the person, behind the stigma.
CNEWA-PNP recognizes the plight of marginalized Christians in the Holy Land, those that are left on the fringes of society.
My name is Lena Said, I'm 20 years old, and my lifelong dream is to become a doctor. And now I'm one step closer to this dream because of your help. Now I'm in my 4th year in medical school, and in 1 month I will be attending the hospital and the clinical rotations, and I'm very excited. My education pursuit would never be possible without your generous support and the opportunity of giving me the scholarship program.
In Gaza, a 3-year employment program provided training and temporary income to over 300 unemployed graduates.
صباح الخير. عارفين منها عبير هم بيعملوا لنا بالكهرباء وبيصلحوا لنا بالكهرباء عشان يضل عندكم كونديشن 5 ساعات 6 ساعات بده يضل الكونديشن عشان هم بيساعدونا، ولا لو ما بيعملوا لناش الكهرباء وبيصلحوا لنا اياها كان الكونديشن ما فيه وصار شو بطلتوا تستوعبوا تدرسوا. مبسوطين ولا مش مبسوطين عنكم؟ شو بدهم هم الناس اللي بتساعدنا؟ برافو عليكم. شو بيقول؟ شكرا.
Children of all ages and backgrounds, lots of smiles, pure joy. The new St. Rachel's Center, founded by the St. James Vicariate for Hebrew-speaking Catholics to house the children of immigrants in Israel, including small children, was indeed blessed in this family atmosphere. Sinhalese, Eritreans, Filipinos, Ethiopians, a welcoming church that responds positively to the call for help. This new center provides more than a valuable childcare.
Our job is to help the church and its institutions to become available to serve their parishioners. That is, the Christians in the area of Bethlehem. We tried to reach as many families as possible in the cities of Bethlehem, Beit Jala, and Beit Sahur. We helped needy families who lived in homes that needed renovations that they could not afford. The younger families are usually the most disadvantaged ones. Every family has its own unique story. For each of them, the renovation of their homes represents a fresh new start.
My house was in poor condition, especially because of the much humidity. I have a sick daughter, and it used to be so difficult for me to bathe her. I asked them to expand the bathroom, and they did. I have a larger bathroom now, and there is no more humidity. They made my house more beautiful. Now everything's all right, thanks to God.
CBOs face severe financial and fundraising constraints due to the ongoing occupation that deprives the Palestinian community from its national resources, most importantly, the water aquifers and fertile agricultural land.
صرنا 3 أشهر إلينا 17,000 شيكل كهرباء. يعني بس نحطت الطاقة ربنا رتب إنه نوفي الدين، بدل ما ندفع للكهرباء عم ندفع الدين. يعني نشكر الله من 4,000 شيكل ل 350 ل 250. نشكر الله ونحن دايما ندعي ونصلي لكل واحد كان السبب باللي نحن فيه.
بدي استنسب هاي الفرصة وأشكر CNEWA-Pontifical ميشن على هالمشروع اللي كتير قيم بالنسبة لنا، كتير حلو، كتير ممتع، لأنه من ناحية علمية بدنا نحاول ننزل الطلاب المدرسة وهن مداومين يتفرجوا عليها من ناحية علمية. في عندهم حصص بياخدوها بالعلوم كيف إنه بصير الزراعة المائية.
With no medical insurance and national security programs, becoming sick or needing an operation, especially in severe and chronic cases, leads to individuals accruing debt or selling personal property. During emergencies such as the wars in Gaza or the current pandemic, CNEWA-PNP has the ability to shift part of its programs from development to relief.
وخلال الأزمات والحروب تنشط البعثة البابوية في تقديم برامج الإغاثة لتخفيف معاناة المتضررين دون تمييز عرقي أو ديني.
من بداية الأزمة لليوم البعثة البابوية قدمت مساعدات بتقريبا $200,000. من هذه المبالغ جزء كان لمساعدة المؤسسات المدارس، جزء لمساعدة ملاجئ العجزة، وجزء كبير منه حوالي تقريبا $100,000، يعني يمكن النص كان لمساعدة مباشرة للعائلات المستورة.
Rebuilding the relationship between the faithful and the Bible is key to rediscovering the roots of our faith. Hence, we support the Bible competition program in Palestine and Israel, as well as Bible youth study groups.
The fourth and final evening of the Bible competition ended on March the 29th at the University of Dar al-Kalima in Bethlehem. More than 200 students from different Palestinian cities took part in the competition to represent their schools and parishes. Father Ibrahim al-Shomali aims to encourage students to read the Bible more deeply and continue to be connected with the Word of God.
We are Palestinians, and we are happy to live the gospel in the land of the gospel. I felt that I was aware of the verses of the Bible,
But after reading, I discovered that I was ignoring many things that I now know.
The Apostolic Administrator of the Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem, His Excellency Monsignor Pierbattista Pizzaballa, blessed this activity and expressed his joy at the presence of new media, which allow young people to recognize the Word of God. The Pontifical Mission is very interested in all activities that promote the development of a sense of belonging to the land of Jesus among young men and women in the Christian community.
The Jerusalem office team also convened at the offices in Jerusalem a number of priests and sisters and lay people active in the catechism programs to put together the first ever curricula for the catechism program at the various parishes.
Besides attending the Eucharist and having catechism classes, visiting the land of the gospel and walking in the footsteps of Jesus is key to understanding the gospel and developing a strong sense of belonging to the Holy Land, the land of Jesus.
The Church plays a significant role in securing special permits from the Israeli authorities. Without these permits and financial support, Palestinian children would not be able to cross checkpoints beyond the separation wall to visit holy places in Jerusalem, Nazareth, and Tiberias.
The youth of Jesus' homeland comprises of Palestinian youth from various parishes under the careful guidance of Father Bashar Fawadli. Among its activities supported by CNEWA-PNP, the group organized the first Bible festival in Ramallah.
The event was opened to the sound of music. The Scouts with different rhythms started this festival. Local civil and religious authorities arrived at the event accompanied by the sound of the Scouts. They then admired one of the festival attractions, the biblical exhibition accompanied by special tutors. In this festival, we celebrate the history of the Son of the Land, the 50th anniversary of the founding of the Christian youth in the Holy Land. The first to have the idea was the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, Monsignor Michel Sabat. In the biblical exhibition, everyone is attentive to all information thanks to the guided tour. It was a very nice experience. I learned many things I didn't know about the Old and New Testaments. The pictures in the exhibition are very beautiful and everything is explained very well.
The Palestinian curricula has certain deficiencies. History begins with Islam, totally ignoring 7 centuries of Christian Palestine, as well as the contributions of the Christian community in architecture, medicine, philosophy, and translation of Greek philosophy and science into Aramaic and subsequently into Arabic. CNEWA-PNP, in collaboration with the Latin Bishop of Jerusalem and Sibiu, organized a conference for school principals and teachers, clergy, and Christian laity to discuss the issue and provide insights to remedy the situation. During recent years, the Pontifical Mission Library in Bethlehem began offering a number of cultural and educational programs that literally changed the scope of its mission into a cultural and educational center.
On January the 20th, the regional director of the Pontifical Mission of the Holy Land, Yosef Hasbun, inaugurated the new Pontifical Mission Educational and Cultural Center of the city of Bethlehem in the presence of Mayor Anton Salman, the president of the Bethlehem University, Brother Peter Bray, director of the local office of the Palestinian Ministry of Education in Bethlehem, Nizrain Amro, and many other personalities and representatives of educational institutions and schools in the city. Since the foundation of the Pontifical Mission, we had the great desire to open libraries in Nazareth, Jerusalem, and Bethlehem. With the efforts made by the members of the Theresian Association, which runs its library in Bethlehem, the activities have grown and expanded, and the function of this place has gone beyond that of a library. It has become an educational and cultural center.
In 2019, the PMECC organized the first reading competition in the Palestinian territories, targeting a number of Christian and government schools in the Bethlehem area. On June 18, 2019, the Jerusalem office commemorated 70 years of service since the establishment of the Pontifical Mission. The event began with Mass, presided by His Excellency Archbishop Leopoldo Girelli, the Apostolic Nuncio, followed by a brief presentation on CNEWA PNP and its programs.
Ami CNEWA!